Hi everyone, and a very warm welcome to all of you. My name is Madhulika Rajahan, mother, author, green energy enthusiast, and a certified Lean Six Sigma black belt expert. In today's episode, we will continue to explore and deepen our understanding of design thinking. In the last episode, we spoke at length about the first step, empathy, of the design thinking process in detail and what all it entails. Today, we will talk about define, the second step. An integral part of design thinking process is the definition of a meaningful and actionable problem statement, which the design thinker will focus on solving. This is perhaps the most challenging part of design thinking process, as the definition of a problem, also called as design challenge, will require you to synthesize your observation about your users from the first stage of the design thinking process, which is also called the empathize phase. When you learn how to master the definition of your problem, or problem statement, or design challenge, it will greatly improve your design thinking process and the results thereof. Why? Because a great definition of your problem statement will guide you to your team's work and kickstart the ideation process in the right direction. It will bring about clarity and focus to the design process. On the contrary, if you do not pay enough attention to defining your problem, you will work like a person stumbling in the dark. So, before we go into what makes a great problem statement, it is useful to first gain an understanding of the relationship between analysis and synthesis that may make design thinkers go through in their projects. Tim Brown, the CEO of the international design consultancy firm IDEO, wrote in his book, Change by Design, how design thinking transforms organizations and inspires innovation, and that analysis and synthesis are equally important, and each plays an important role in the process of creating options and making those choices. So, what is analysis? Is about breaking down complex concepts and problems into smaller, easier to understand constituents. What we do, for instance, during the first stage of design thinking process, the empathize stage, when we observe and document details that relate to our users. Synthesis, on the other hand, involves creatively piecing the puzzle together to form a whole idea. This happens during the define stage, when we organize, interpret, and make sense of the data we have gathered to create a problem statement. Although analysis takes place during the empathize stage and synthesis takes place during the define stage, they do not happen in a distinct stage of design thinking. In fact, analysis and synthesis often happen consecutively throughout all stages of design thinking process. Design thinkers often analyze a situation before synthesizing new insights and then analyze their synthesized findings once more to create and more details are synthesized. So let's ask ourselves, what makes a good problem statement? A problem statement is important to a design thinking project because it will guide you and your team to provide a focus on the specific needs that you have uncovered. It also creates a sense of possibility and optimism that allows team members to spark off ideas in the ideation stage, which is the third stage, following stage in the design thinking process. A good problem statement should thus have the following traits. It should be human centered, broad enough for creative freedom, and narrow enough to make it manageable. Let's look at each of them in a little more detail. What does one mean when one says human centered? This requires you to frame your problem statement according to specific users, their needs, and the insights that your team has gained in this empathize phase. The problem statement should be about the people the team is trying to help rather than focusing on technology, monetary returns, or the product specifications. What do you mean when we say broad enough for creative freedom? This means that the problem statement should not focus too narrowly on a specific method regarding the implementation of the solution. The problem statement should not list technical requirements, as this would unnecessarily restrict the team and prevent them from exploring areas that might bring unexpected value and insight to the project. And what does it mean when we say narrow enough to make it manageable? Uh, Once we have the problem of plenty, it is difficult for us to manage. On the other hand, the problem statement, such as improve the human condition, is too broad and will likely cause team members to easily feel daunted and confused. So, problem statements should have sufficient constraints to make the project manageable as well. As well as the three traits mentioned above, it is also helps to begin the problem statement with a verb such as create, define, or adapt to make the problem more action oriented. Once we get an understanding of what makes a good problem statement, we can go ahead to the next step of how to make one, which we will cover in the next session of the series. With this, we come to an end to this edition. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment in the comment section of what you'd like to hear more. Until next time, this is your host, Madhulika Rajahan, signing off. Have a wonderful day ahead.